What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Trapper channel, coming to you with a Game 2 edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks MLB Wildcard. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Ended up nuking San Diego run line. Hopefully that comes to fruition. I'm not sure how far AJ Smith-Shriver is going to be pitching into this one, but here we go. Here it goes nothing, fools, because Kansas City, they did what they were supposed to do. Nice 1-0 W there. Did not go so well with the freaking Milwaukee Brewers, who are my absolute mush. I hate that baseball team. I was tempted to bet on them today just out of spite, just to get them out of here. But you know what? We're looking at the opposite side of that one. But Bet365, we'll talk about them later. But Tails, we'll talk about that right now. That is my premium Discord. Well, we had a couple of pick'em cards that hit in the early window of today, that being Tuesday. And then heading into Wednesday, I'm going to have more of them going from Prize Picks Underdog, DraftKings Pick 6, as well as all the sportsbook plays you know and love. We're going to be firing up ad nauseum here in the MLB playoff streets. And if you want them all, $10 for your first week, $25 for your first month. Would love to see you there. And again, thank you for all the nice comments. Thank you for all the nice things. Hearing you, enjoy having me back. Well, it was great to get Kansas City across the finish line. It was interesting as everything fell apart there for Milwaukee at multiple times. How do you take Freddie Peralta out of that game? I'm going to lose my mind about that. But we've got 4 games. We're running it back. Producer Jacob, hello, hi. Let's get to the picks. Anybody who is not a Houston Astros fan absolutely love to see what we got in that Detroit-Houston game. I'm a little sad because I didn't pull the trigger on that under, but talked about it being a lean, and 3-1 W, Tariq Skubal, you are the truth. Did end up on over 5.5 strikeouts on pick'em cards. Talked about that ad nauseum there in the premium Discord. Had those in DMs. And DM me. If you're in the premium Discord, DM me. Let me know questions that you have. Happy to answer them. Again, there's a lot of them. I try to get to everybody every single day, but I digress. Not talking about how cool I am. Let's talk about how cool the Detroit Tigers are. They're bringing Holton out there. Now, this is going to be one of those textbook bullpen games. I do not agree with this number for what it's worth. Hunter Brown, he's going to be on the mound for Houston. He's been awesome, but Detroit, they're up 1-0. They didn't have to utilize anybody because Tariq Skubal just went absolutely ballistic. They did try to throw up on themselves towards the end of that baseball game, but you got Bo Brisky, you got a couple of those other guys holding down the fort at the end of that one. And now Holton, he's going to be maybe, 1-2 innings? We're going to see 4, 5, 6 pitchers here on the Detroit side. And you give me bullpen games when you're up 1-0. And I love the opportunity to be getting plus money here on the Detroit side of things. As for Hunter Brown, I'm paying attention to the strikeouts. It's only available on FanDuel right now. It's juiced -122 towards that under. I'm sitting here thinking that Houston's going to throw everything at the wall no matter what to try to win this game. That's how these 2 of 3s work. Houston gets to host all 3. You got to win the next 2 if you're Houston. You do everything you can, and that's where it gets a little bit dicey. The pitching outs, I'm curious where those open for Hunter Brown. 16.5, 17.5, might be looking at shorting them, seeing where they open, but hard to kind of speculate on that right now. I will throw out the under of 6.5 as a lean because I'm going to be paying very close attention to all Hunter Brown props, but most importantly, Detroit's on the card for me already. +144. I like them on the money line. +40, 142. Anything better than +130 is going to be a half unit play. Now, the reason that it's hard for me to go crazy and say, oh, well, 12-cent difference, maybe locking it, is because this is the postseason in Houston. We respect the bullpen. Josh Hader, somebody who's probably going to get into the fold here, even in games that they're trailing, which is something that he and his agent arranged, isn't going to be the case most of the time during the regular season, but during the postseason, in an elimination game, Houston's going to do everything they can to win this game. And yet I like the value you're getting, +144 on the Detroit side. Pay attention to those numbers. And Hunter Brown, 6.5 strikeouts. That could easily become pitching outs to short as well. Shout out the Kansas City Royals. Absolutely love it. Only had the 0.1 units on MJ Melendez. That ball was not flying at all. But Michael Massey, a huge part of what we did in the pick'em streets. And, well, I think that's something you want to be paying attention to here in this game as well. Talked about it last night. That's why it's almost more important to hear about what I'm talking about as opposed to just the plays. But +126, Kansas City. Their dogs, Seth Lugo on the mound. Zach Eflin, -148. I don't agree that Zach Eflin should be in these kind of situations, but I'm going to be staying away for it for a couple of reasons. First off, Orioles didn't have to utilize a lot of their main bullpen arms here in this one because they got 8 strong innings out of Corbin Burns. He pitched well enough for them to win that game, but Kansas City, I mean, just absolutely fantastic stuff. And that's why we were in on them as the dogs. Thought that they had that, and Cole Reagan's in that ballpark. He had a couple of fly balls that ended up, I mean, honestly, he limited all the hard contact. Nothing really all that dicey for him. Unbelievable stuff from him and Tariq Skubal, the southpaws here on today's program. Not so much from Framber Valdez. Didn't even talk about his evisceration in the last part. But Seth Lugo, Zach Eflin in this one. I think the under a 7.5 is very much in play because of the weather. That ball was not flying in Baltimore. You watch that game, hard contact, not really going beyond 350, 360. I mean, it was going in like the 300 range, pop flies to left fielders, right fielders. I mean, it feels like MJ Melendez was getting a workout there in left field to some extent. He had one dicey play, but other than that, they were able to hold down the fort. I think if you made me take a team, I would be looking at Kansas City yet again, but I think Michael Massey. I doubt pick'em sites, be the underdog, the prize picks, or DraftKings pick 6 end up firing Michael Massey up there again. He led off against a righty. He's going to lead off against a righty again tomorrow. That is now confirmed. You get these elimination games, you know that Kansas City is going to go back to the well with him. Michael Garcia in the 9-hole. Kyle Isbell hitting above him. That was a little bit strange. But as I started projecting this one out, really hard to go towards props in terms of overs. We might be looking at some unders outside of Michael Massey, who, again, if he ends up being there as low-hanging fruit, congratulations to us all. We're going to fire that one up again in that Discord. Or, check out Bet365, minus 150, minus 155 on him. I'd be fine with that as well. How about firing up Bet365 at the link below? Colorado, Louisiana, Virginia, Kentucky, New Jersey, Arizona, Ohio, Iowa, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off, twist it around your head, spin it like a helicopter. 11 states where Bet365 is now available. Look at the screen. If it is available in your state, all you have to do is bet $5. Check out this graphic from producer Jacob. All you have to do is bet $5, and you're going to get $200 to fire up there over at Bet365. That is down at the link below. Again, it's only for 21 and over, 18 and over in Kentucky. If you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. Unbelievable run out here from the Milwaukee Brewers. Go up 2-0. Choke that away immediately, 3-2 Mets. And then you go up 4-3, then it becomes 4-4, and then it's 8-4 before you can even snap your fingers. I guess I did snap my fingers pretty quickly, but that's what it felt like. The Mets, maybe they are a team of destiny. Maybe grimace shakes are things we should all be injecting into our bodies and having all the goodness pour out of us. I doubt that is the case, but Sean Manaea now on the mound going up against these Milwaukee Brewers, and you get that entire bullpen back. Phil Maton did not have to pitch. In fact, Luis Severino, 6 innings pitched, gave up the 3 earned, 4 total runs in all. Unbelievable outing from him, followed by Stanek there in that 9th inning, and Jose Butto, unbelievable 7th and 8th inning from them. Perfect run out from the Mets. Said they had to do it offensively, and surely enough, they did it, because they pulled Freddie Peralta before he went through the 3rd time in that lineup, which is just egregious. I just want to scream into the abyss, because Freddie Peralta, 2 hits, 1 walk, and it somehow turned into 3 earned, and you pull him there? Egregious managing. I can't stand the Milwaukee Brewers. They own my soul. Would be way up on the day as of right now, even before this Padres game started, if it weren't for that ridiculousness. But Aaron Savale, he pitched at the tail end. I don't think we get Aaron Savale starting. In fact, there are only a couple of different guys. This might be a full hands-on-deck bullpen type situation. Aaron Ashby ends up pitching in this one, somebody who had been lengthened out and then been a bullpen arm as a southpaw, trying to give a different look maybe to the Mets. No. So I have no idea who the Milwaukee Brewers roll out there, but what I do know is that I can get -102, basically a 50-50 flip on the New York Mets on FanDuel.com right now. And I have to do it here with Sean Manaea, because you start digging into the peripherals with him. He has been so much better over the last month and a half. Now, a .229 expected batting average, 25% K rate. If he is not walking guys, his sinker has been playing so live over the last month, it's ridiculous. And I see him as one of the top graded pitch for me amongst starting pitchers that have over a 500 pitch sample size this season. I love what we've seen from Sean Manaea so far, not just this year, but now over the last month especially. And I think this is a little bit of a weird number, knowing that Maton didn't have to pitch on Tuesday. Edwin Diaz did not have to pitch on Tuesday. I know the Brewers continue to find ways to disappoint me in all fashions, so I'm completely accepting of this. But then also, Francisco Lindor, considering he's a switch hitter, and considering some of the options that I think the Brewers have now at their discretion, to be rolling out here in this game. I mean, Woodruff on the IL, Wilson on the IL, Gasser on the IL. It's probably going to be like some real weirdness. I mean, you could have Frankie Montas, who ends up starting this game, and I think that's the most likely starter. And Frankie Montas against lefties is abysmal. So I'm looking at Nimmo, but I want to specifically point out Francisco Lindor. He is the guy at 1.5 total bases at plus money that I think you want to have on the card. He was kind of a no-show today, but the Mets money line, I'm very interested at that number, knowing that Montas could be your potential game 2 starter and Lindor over 1.5 total bases. In my opinion, that would be the perfect run out, although the Brewers going to be a very short leash for guys like Montas in this outing. And our last game of the night, Max Fried, Joe Musgrove. I feel pretty confident about this one. The Braves more than likely showing up inside of -105 here. And Max Fried, he was the NL pitcher of the month, or of the month over the course of the last month. That's how it works. September, he was absolutely insanely good. Now sporting sub 2.2 ERA. I love Max Fried. Plus, I love them holding him back from game 1, going to game 2. And now, obviously, I could look silly, and it's baseball. San Diego could totally lose, but getting plus money on that run line was just kind of an egregious thing to me, knowing that it was Smith-Shriver that was going to be showing up there in this spot. And then kind of a bullpen that's dwindled down, but getting Iglesias back, getting a lot of these main bullpen arms back, I'm very curious where books end up dropping this number. And in fact, it's so much so, and I'm so confident that we're going to value on Max Fried here going up against Joe Musgrove, that I'm making this a lean like. I need you to be paying attention. If you have questions whatsoever, it's your money, it's my money. I want us to be smart about this, but look at that Atlanta money line, because Joe Musgrove, I think we're seeing some issues with him against righties more so than lefties this season. That's kind of strange to me, but working through some of the expected ISO numbers, Joe Musgrove, 166 expected ISO against righties, 130 expected ISO against lefties. He's done a really good job, not just striking out more lefties, 26.4%, but found ways to limit some of that power. And I was thinking, oh, I'm going to probably be putting lefties up against this righty. No, that was not the case. Reran everything. Marcell Ozuna, your most likely home run on the board for the entire day from me. San Diego, Petco been playing a little bit smaller. Love Max Fried. Love the Atlanta side of this one if we're getting -105 or better. And we'll be able to have some more information about exactly what San Diego's bullpen usage looks like coming off of Tuesday night. So be at the ready, be in the premium Discord. You'll get the notification on your phone immediately from the OS app when I place that bet, if I place that bet. That's why you want to be signing up for Tails. We'll talk about that on the way. One more time, friends, 50% first week, month of my premium Discord daily picks over at Tails by OddsShopper using promo code Lindy50. That Atlanta game is going to be so important to be paying attention to news, to be paying attention to bullpen usage, but love Max Fried and what he's been doing over the course of the last couple of months, and actually his entire career. Is an absolute saint. Plus, getting your bullpen back going to be huge. Excited to see what those numbers look like, but 50% off, just $10 for your first week, $25 for your first month. Hopefully San Diego can get it done here in game 1, and then in game 2, we can get the inverse. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this crazy little Wednesday wild card game 2 session that we've got going. We don't know which games we're going to get on Thursday, but it's going to be a wild one, that's for sure. That's why they call it the wild card. Check out Bet365 if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Check out Lindy50, Lindy50. That's me. Hello. Let's get ourselves the heck up out of here. Thank you, producer Jacob. It's going to be a fun slate here on Wednesday. Hopefully we can make some more money. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Hump Day.